My name is Shalon Douglas, known as Your Code as Boss, and welcome to another episode to It's Rules to This Shit. Today, I have my lovely colleague and partner, Cameron, who works with me within the industry. We do a lot of shit. We got some great stuff that we have that we're about to introduce to the world in the next, couple of weeks or some shit like that?
2 weeks or less.
Yeah, 2 weeks or less, right? So, I put out something not too long ago saying hustle in silence. When was the last time you heard a tree grow? Ooh. Last I heard, I ain't never heard a tree grow.
I just see them motherfuckers pop up.
You hear that? See, that's why we friends. We talk the same language. But nevertheless, welcome to today's episode. So today's episode that we're going to be getting into is how it's okay to fire your fucking clients. You heard me say that. Fire your fucking ass clients, right? I have stories, right, to where I could share in regards to working with a client, aka customer. And when we get into the business of serving our customers and our clients, you want to be able to offer the best services that you have to offer, right? You want to be able to give your clients quality, right, and have them be happy in the deliverance of your work ethics and different things of such. But sometimes working with motherfuckers could just take the holiness out of you, if you have any little bit of holiness in you, and really make you just want to just be like, you know what? Okay, look, I'm from Inglewood, so I was trying to be cool and cordial all up until this point, and okay, y'all, I'm being a little bit too ghetto, but nevertheless, I'm just keeping it 100 with you guys. That I thought it was important to talk about this topic because of the fact that not everybody that you work with is the right connection. Okay, it's okay to fire your fucking clients, and what I want to talk about, or what I want to get into with that, is not all money is good money. Okay,
Absolutely.
When you're feeling tensed up, or if you feel like you take on a project because of the fact that you might feel like you're short on funds, or just to keep your business going, or whatever the reasons there might be to why you need to, and trust me, I get that. We eat what we kill, in so many words, right? So I understand that you want to be able to keep that cash flow going. You got to take care of your responsibilities at your your office, or for your business that you're running, including your own lights and stuff in your personal home and different things of such, right? I thought it was necessary to get on that topic in regards, and when I say that, people are like, what did you just say? It's okay to fire your clients, because at one point in time, we worked on the 20th century model, right? Which was the client is always right. You got something to say about that?
Well, coming from an extensive customer service background, you do hear the 20th century model, the customer is always right. And so now, in more recent times, you have to find the intersectionality of that point and your former point about all money is not good money, and especially as a businesspreneur such as yourself.
That's right. Say that one more time. What you say?
Businesspreneur.
One more time.
A businesspreneur.
Okay, that's a real term. We ain't making that shit up, but we'll get into that in another episode.
Such as yourself, it's even more important to make the distinction between offering service, being of service, and your bottom line, which also includes your mental wellness and translating your time into money. Yes,
and I'm so happy you said that as far as mental, because we live in a world today where shit is crazy. Everybody's mental state is not where what we would consider logical or in a healthy state of mind. And so therefore, when trying to work for your clients, and depending on what industry you work in as well, because some industries are more crazier than others. I have the experience of working within the entertainment industry, that compared to the real estate industry, because I work on that side as well, it's two completely different type of experiences with the level of craziness. However, you still have to be able to know how to balance, right, to work from one industry to the next. but part of that also is who you work with. So from your clients to your colleagues to your partners to even with networking with different individuals, which that'll be another episode as well, because that's a whole another conversation within itself. But nevertheless, one of the things that I thought was very important to share with you guys is that not every client that you come across, or AKA opportunity, which you might think is an opportunity, is considered a good one. You have to really be able to like weigh out, you know what I'm saying? Is this really good? You know, is this going to be a good relationship working with? I mean, you kind of can tell in the beginning, especially if you listen to your intuition. Okay. I am a woman, number one. Women, we always go off our intuitions, right? So like, where you been? Anyway, that's a whole different kind of conversation right there. But nevertheless, my point that I'm really trying to make out is that you really have to compare in the beginning. You have to weigh out your options. Is this going to be a healthy situation with the two of us? Because your clients, there are several that I've had to fire, and believe me, for my mental state, for my well-being, and for me to keep my sanity, because the number one thing is I'm here to offer you a service. I'm here to help you. How can I help you in what your needs are, right? It's like I almost kind of be like, can't we all just get along? I mean, I would love that, but that's not the reality. And sometimes when you find yourself, when it's like a hard pull or a tug, or you find yourself always having to prove yourself, or clients can be belittling. They can talk down to you. They can talk to you as if you're illiterate, or this is the biggest thing. Your clients, because they feel that because they're paying you, that you work for them directly, like you're their employee, and not give you your well-due proper respects is to look at you as you are an employer that run your own shit, and you're doing them a service. So I just wanted to let you guys know that not all clients are necessarily good clients. If you ever feel like you're about to come out of character, fucking let that shit go ASAP. So with that being said, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open it up for questions. I have my team that you can't see, you know how we do this, and then I also have my colleague. From time to time, I'll have people who I work with, I'll invite them as my special guests to just come in and just sit with me and chill, and let's just get in front of the camera and just basically have a conversation and open it up for some fucking questions. Okay, so again, I'm shooting from the dome. You guys put me on spot, whatever questions you have. And also too, if you have any questions, make sure you jot them down in the comments below, and I promise to answer every single last one of them. Shoot, let's do this. Put me on spot.
Well, you spoke to something that in customer service, which we are, and like you said, it just depends on who our customer client is. You spoke to being of service. How do you make the distinction between being of service and being a servant? And how do you feel that you can basically explain that to your client?
So pretty much when you are of service, right, you are pretty much delivering whatever it is that you're working on for that client. You're providing a service for them, right? So pretty much how you stay on top of your schedule, your initiatives, your deliverables, hitting those deadlines. And that's another thing. Sometimes deadlines get missed and your clients get upset, right? Because I'm going to tie this into being of a servant, okay? Because when you are working for a client, and sometimes your deadlines might get missed, which has happened in our case, not all the time because of us. A lot of times it's because we might need whatever you have to give to us to be able to give you that service back. So for an example, what I mean by that is if we're building you out a brand, we need content to build out your brand. So if you don't have content that's developed, if we're not developing the content, which can help us keep on schedule, you might already have some folks that you're working with that's developing your content, or you're in the process of developing content with a whole nother team. So if we have within the proposal that it'll take us like 6 weeks to develop out a platform or a design for you. If we're waiting on you and your other team to get you development or content, that's being developed, if they don't deliver that in enough time, then we can't finish in enough time. And what fucking happens every time is that you still want us to meet that deadline, the initial deadline, okay? And it's like, no, that's not how shit works, because as soon as you hold us up, we're not going to stop working till we get your content. We're gonna move on to the next project that we're working on. So what happens is now your project goes behind another project, which now pushes your timeline behind.
Yes.
Okay. So in explaining that, that's the service, right? As far as what we're trying to provide for you in delivering, right, which is called your deliverables, delivering the platform or whatever it is that we're building out, your brand, I don't care what it is. Mm-hmm. The point is that that's a service that we're trying to provide.
Right.
And if you can't be the help and the hindrance all in the same package.
Help me.
Did you hear me say that? I'm gonna say that again. Help and hindrance do not go in the same goddamn, you know what I'm saying, situation there, right? But it happens a lot. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're talking about being a servant to a client, I mean, that's just something. When you're a servant, you are here to serve, meaning like help provide a solution mm-hmm. to a pain point that somebody else is having. Mm-hmm. A servant is one who serves to help, right? You're helping.
Okay.
So therefore, in order for me to be a servant, my job in that role is to make sure that I'm offering you quality service. I'm being able to provide a solution to the pain point or whatever it is that you have. Like I got a car earlier today, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's not that the individual, they've been in the business for a very long time. Okay. But they noticed how they were missing something still in building out their brand. And so then they came across my stuff and was just like, oh my gosh, I need to call Shalon because I know if anybody can help me, she can. Mm-hmm. And so, but she wasn't saying that just to say for me to provide her a service. She knew that I also have a passion behind what I do. I actually love being able to help other people. Mm-hmm. In fact, you'll see that in my mission statement across the board in everything that I do, which is helping others to create opportunities. That's more of a servant role than just me doing a job to provide a service just to get a check.
Okay.
I hope that answers the question.
Yes.
Okay. I hope that answers that for you guys too.
How many times would it take for someone to mess up for you to fire them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's an excellent
That
question.
is a very, very good question.
So, just to repeat that, how many times would it take in my case?
Yeah.
Because we all got different levels of fucking tolerance around here, right? So, I'm old. I just look young. No, nevertheless, I ain't old. Scratch that shit. Yeah. Nah, I'm young. Well, in my case, I always had a 3 strikes rule, and it seems to work for me. Now, you know, some people might have 5 strikes, some people might have 1, but nevertheless, for me, I have a 3 strikes rule because sometimes, you know, on the first account, it just might be something as simple as a miscommunication. Now, if it happens again to where there's like a button heads, because really to me, it really just comes down to a respect thing. If you are handling me in such a way to where it's going outside of the boundaries of professionalism and I feel like I'm personally being attacked, then you're not gonna get a fucking 3 strikes rule. You're just gonna get your ass is gonna be cut right then and there, and when you walk away, you won't even realize that by the time I got through with you, that your head is like, you just got sliced, right? And I don't mean that, I mean that metaphorically, but it's just to the point to where now I'm at the point to where I'm not afraid to tell somebody no, or to say, you know something, I don't think that this is going to be a good situation between the two of us. I will still keep it very professional up until the point to where I can't keep it professional. And if I feel like I'm getting to that point, then I would just completely just cut your ass off altogether. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and I have done it, and I recently have done it too. And that's just only because I'm not here. I'm here to help. I'm not here to hinder. Okay, I'm here to help you. And sometimes, you know, there might be things, because we have lives too. So if there's a situation to where, you know, something drastically happened in your life, and if you are dealing with somebody who can't understand that, because it's still always about them, and even when you try to accommodate for that and they still can't be understanding, then that's also a sign to let you know it's time to cut that relationship. To answer your question originally, I have a 3 strikes rule, but that's also based on the level of disrespect. If there is disrespect there. If I'm completely being disrespected for no reason at all, then you gotta fucking go. Because one of us is, you know, not gonna be too happy in the end. And it's not gonna be, hell no, we're gonna be big. So, you know, I hope that answers the question.
That sparked another thought of mine, because in the beginning you spoke on how all money is not good money.
Oh yeah.
And so that works hand in hand with assessing the respect level,
yes,
and the value of the service that you provide. So I know this question is probably an entirely different class on its own, but can you speak briefly on monetizing your time? Because that's a very important part of cutting people off. If
yes,
it's not valuable to your time,
yes,
it just translates to money.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is like a very important question. I'm gonna speak in terms of how long I've been in business. I've been in business for myself for 27 years or longer. I told you I was young.
You were 5.
Yes, right. She commented that real quick, y'all. But no, in all seriousness though, it gets to a point to where you, at some point, gotta have so much respect for yourself. Because that's where it starts. Whether it is personal, business, family, whatever the case might have you, you need to be able to make sure that you set a level of value for yourself. Because if it don't start there, then nobody else outside of you will respect that. And so, you know, in addition to that, when you know that what you're giving is of value and you're doing a tremendous amount of service for someone else, if they can't respect that, and again, like I said, it comes from self-respect first. Again, self-respect, okay? You have to be able to assess how much that's worth. You know, I'm not cheap, but I did my dues. I got my PhD, and you know, and I ain't talking about college neither. I'm talking about, I don't know, I went to college, but that's not the point. I earned my stripes. I paid my dues. I've walked in my tailor-made, you know, shoes and my tailor-made suit, and I'm not talking about clothing.
Yes.
I'm talking about experience. Okay, and so therefore, I'm not about to waste my time on dealing with a client who is hard to work with, or, you know, because that too is a waste of time.
Yes.
And you could be finding yourself like frustrated. And listen, at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, you are a creative. I don't care what it is that you're doing, you are creative in something, in whatever type of entrepreneurship,
yes,
right, that you're offering. So when you're in a situation to where you're dealing with a client that's hard to get along with, it sets on frustrations. Your frustrations cloud your creativity.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, it's like something that should take you like an hour to a half a day to a day, whatever it is that you're doing. Next thing you know, 2 weeks then went by, or a month then went by, because the fact that you can't even enjoy doing what you have to offer for the client. It affects you as an individual, and if that happens, guess what? It affects your execution.
Yes.
It affects the deliverance of that project. It affects the money that's associated with that. It affects the relationship, right? And then on top of that, the reputation.
Yeah.
You could be dealing with somebody who's such a fucking asshole. I'm saying that in the camera.
You said it.
You could be, because trust me, we got a lot of assholes in this world that you got to answer to. I mean, you got to deal with shit on a personal basis, on a personal level already, and then to turn around and deal with that too with clients. I mean, you really got to ask yourself, what are you attracting?
Oh.
That's a whole nother
class and conversation.
Yeah, it's a whole nother episode. so, right? Law of attraction and law of vibration. Aha. So kind of coming back to like, not all money is good money. You know, it really comes down to your systems and your processes, the type of capacity that you have, the type of scalable solution that you're offering, and then the value that you're offering on top of that. And then, you know what I'm saying, being able to, if there is something that goes wrong, because shit's gonna go wrong, how are you able to handle that? And then if you just dealing with such an irate customer, I'd rather just give you your money back. And I've done that. So, and not only that, in doing so, what you're doing is getting rid of that negativity that's affecting your space, so that you can open up to the law of attraction and the law of abundance, because your law of vibration is set to another status as well, so, or another level as well. So those three things, I mean, I can get into separate topics with just that alone, but we're not talking about that today. We're just talking about it's okay to fire your fucking clients.
To sum it up, what I heard you say, a few things, and not in any particular order, having your systems together, knowing your value, and knowing when to walk away. When to fold. When to hold them and when to fold them.
Yeah, sometimes I like to say this, you know, when they sleep on you, tuck their asses in.
Ooh.
That's my favorite quote, because that's from a client to a partner, and sometimes it be your family members too. I'm just saying.
Tuck 'em
Anyway, no, but when they sleep on you, tuck them in, and tuck them in well, and wish them good night. Well, with that being said, you know what? I can tell that you're a good listener. Did she write that shit up real well, y'all? She wrote that shit up real well. But you know what? No, honestly, I am so happy that you did this with me. Hopefully this was of value to you and you guys in the back. And you know, we got the crew, can't see them. But and you guys too, if you have questions, again, jot your questions down. Make sure to like, follow, and share. I hope that you enjoyed and got a lot of content and a lot of information out of what we spoke on today. And until next time, you guys, check us out. We be doing, oh, that's Ebonics. Check us out. We're gonna be shooting out episodes pretty much every week, just to be able to like cover like the rules to this shit and what you need to do, because there's levels to the game, there's levels to this shit, and there's rules to this shit. So I'm gonna always keep it straight and 100 with you. And yeah, hopefully you had fun with us today. So be sure to come back and check us out next time.